Welcome to the Land of Bet Sports Betting Live Show. Appreciate y'all joining on a Sunday. No, I'm a few minutes late. I'm always a little bit late. That's just like my normal, but we're here to go. I got a couple bets already on the card. I'd want to mostly be looking at what you guys have, though. So definitely be jumping in the comments as you guys are all jumping in. Get those bets down for me. I know there's probably plenty in here, so let me just start by going through it. I do want to look at how we did. What's up, Allie? I do want to look at how we did yesterday with you guys, too. So we'll go over that, but we got everybody in here, so I'm appreciative to have y'all, man. See everybody in here. Going to be getting the comments scrolling soon in a minute as well. So not this show, but looking to just get that so I can see that stuff. I talked about that the other day. But all right, let's keep it rolling here. Let me look at what you guys have. Like I said, I'm going to see what I got, but mostly just people saying what's up. So let's get this money. Good to see everybody in here. Quick look at how I did yesterday and those who tailed. Going to look at this betting review. This was on the show. Oh, that's right. I forgot to do this. You're not going to be able to see me for a minute. This is how we did yesterday. And this is going to be something I'm continuing to do here, right, is look at how many of these are deserved, how many of them are not deserved, all that kind of stuff. And I think this is going to be something that is going to be helpful because I was able to see yesterday, like, I don't feel bad at all about the Hauser or Sabonis bet there that you can see. I got the wrong graphic in here, so let me pull this one down. Let me just start sharing my screen. But this is what's up for those of you who are seeing the looks from yesterday. Like, real quick, I was happy with all of them, so I really don't have much to add to what I put on the episode earlier. Sabonis was so nasty, man. So nasty. Don't even want to get into it past that, but Hauser was nasty too. He took 11 threes, but shout out to the VIP chat for Sar. And the Hauser, at least he hit the third one there to get the plus money. So we did end up money for the first time in like 4 days, which was great. Needed that. So we'll keep it rolling here. So if you do want to jump into the Discord, there's links all over the place in the link in the description of the video. That's what I'm trying to say. That's where those links are. And we also got those up in a couple other spots. So you should be able to see the link there. There's going to be some codes that are flying around too. So if you see that, you can get some percentage off on the first couple months or first month, whatever the deal is. But if you go into the description of the video, that's where you're going to find all that stuff. But yeah, we're going to get back into it. And then Props Madness, I think you were talking about that too, J-Main. That's what we're going to be using here. So if you guys are not familiar with it, hit me up with any questions about it. This is definitely the number one tool. Shout out to Pips and the team for everything here. Promo code, I should say, LYB, gets you 25% off your first month. Also gets you 7 free days to check it out if you want to look at all this stuff. So make sure you're tapped in, though. If you're spending on the NBA, and when we get to the ladies as well, there's definitely not a better platform in here. So, all right, looking to get a few more bets on the cards. I'm going to get back into the comments here. So hopefully you guys are let me know what you want to look at. This game's already going on. Not sure where we're at with it, but didn't have a bet in that one. This game, I am liking a bit more, and I do have a bet in the Blazers and the Knicks game. So that's where I'm going to start it off. And if you guys do want to put some bets down, it's helpful for me if you put them in order. Go Blazers, Knicks, go Dubs, Spurs. Let's keep it to these two games for right now for the bets that y'all are putting in the comments. And then I'll be able to look at those a little bit more easily. Looking at the Knicks game here, I took a bet already on Shaden Sharp. Not sure if we have an update on Anthony Simons. I'm going to go to the underdog NBA fantasy thing here to see if we got anything out. He's still a game time decision. Wonderful. Whatever. All right. So we won't actually know. I already took this bet. Maybe it was dumb. It's not going to move. But the 18.5 points for Shaden is what I took here. If we don't get Anthony Simons, I mean, this is an amazing look. If you look at the games without Simons, he's at 26 a game without Simons, right? Just going into the games without Simons. We're talking 26.4, 5 games, but over and all 5 of them. Plus the other thing is we've got Scoot already out. So Scoot's out. And now we've got Jeremy Grant out as well. So both those dudes are out. Simons, if he's out there Sharp, if he's out there without Simons, like, he's going to be the one eating up this awful Knicks defense up top, right? We know that they're still 30th, limiting pick and roll ball handler stuff up top here. So that's going to be Shaden Sharp's go-to. It would be Anthony Simons doing it a bit more, but even if they're both out there, I still like Sharp in this one right here. He's at about 20 points per 36 minutes with Anthony Simons on the floor with him. So really not worried about it against the Knicks defense. That's getting better, but not too impressive as of late either. So let's see what we've got in the comments too. I'm going to start starring some things. If you guys get them in, like I said, go ahead and use, you try to get them in for the first couple games here. If you've got anything for this one, I'm going to look at that, but we got the the Knicks and the Blazers. That's gonna be the next one that comes up. So appreciate the welcome back. Definitely good to be back, man. Good to be at least on a winning streak right now. 1-0 yesterday enough. So let's see. We got assists from Josh Hart. This is something I want to talk about. So I appreciate this from you, Rusty. The look for who's going to be doing some more ball handling. So we know that both the backup guards, Campaign and Deuce, are going to be out, in addition to JB, obviously, Jalen Brunson. So who do we think is going to be doing a lot more of the ball handling? I do think it's going to be Hart. I do think it's going to be Bridges as well. The Josh Hart bet is probably a good look here. If we look at the head-to-head against them last game, he only had the 11 points, took 14 shots, so had a really, really bad shooting day. And then the dimes, he had 9 on 15 potentials. So I think if you're talking about 7 dimes for plus money, if we run it back and he has 15 potentials again, then I'm feeling pretty good about it. Let's look at what happens when he plays without Jalen Brunson on the season. And let's make sure that we're looking at the potential assists in this situation too. So he is averaging 7 a game without JB, 12 games over in 7 of them. The potentials is what we want to look at, right? And that's one of the best parts. God bless you, Pips, for this. So the potential assists that we can look at right here, you can see if you go under the graph, averages 12 in these 12 games without JB and 10 on the regular season. For him to get 7 on, let's say, 12 potentials, let's say we give him 13 potentials, we're cutting it close. For even money, probably not a bad look. As far as defensive rank versus position, they're 19th, so not great, but not terrible. Trying to figure out who his one-on-one matchup would be too is always super helpful. We're probably talking about Simon Sharp. We're looking at Bridges and DeLon Wright, and then Josh Hart's probably getting either Tumani or Avdia. It's not a great matchup. So if he's getting Tumani Kamara, that's a pain in the ass. I do want to know who was guarding him last game. But this might just be a different game anyway with the guys that are going to be in. So it's right on the button for me. I can't quite get there with it. I know he did really well last game. I think if I'm taking Josh Hart, that's what I'm taking, is more assists than anything. The boards are also, they're still 9.5, right? So maybe it's rebounds and assists for Hart. 15.5. He did have 20 here against them. This is without JB. Trying to think of why this would go down. Let's see, last game. Yeah, he had the 22 in this last game because of the 14 rebounds. I think he's probably still good for the boards. I think the rebounds and assists is the best play for him. But I see you on the dimes. I'm going to leave this as a lean for me for right now. I'm going to put 15.5 RA on the bottom line there for myself real quick. All right, putting that down. And I'm going to be going through these things a little bit more in depth. I'm not going to be sacrificing how much I look at stuff if I do want to bet it. I know that might mean we look at less stuff, but that's kind of the decision that I've made for myself, is like, I'm not going to stretch myself thin, give you weak analysis that I don't think is fully there. I'm going to take a little bit more time on each one. So Hart, I'm going to take that. I'm going to leave that as a lean for right now, over 15.5 RA, minus 110 on MGM is the best number. And we move. All right. So I do like the look for Hart, and I do like the assists, but I also like the rebounds. So I kind of want to put them together in case he is liable to do one a bit more than the other. But appreciate the look there. You want to talk about Mikal? Yeah, that's the other guy that I brought up that I like in this situation here. He continues to have the ball in his hands a ton. In this last game, he took 24 shots, right, against the Bucks. In the assist column here, he had 6 potentials, 52 passes made. I'm starting to not love the dimes here as much for Mikal as I was. I mean, the fact that he got 5 assists on 6 potentials, that's running hot, right? That's what we call running hot. The points, though, 20 plus. You can even get 18.5. He's averaging 22 without JB. It's not necessarily who else is going to shoot. It's about who has the best matchup. I actually don't know. I'm going to go back into the box score real quick. This is something that I show you guys from time to time. But if I'm looking at the Blazers game, that's March 12th. I want to know who was guarding who in that game. So I'm going to go back to it real quick and actually take the time to do this. What I would be doing if I wasn't on stream, essentially. So I'm going to go back to the 12th. I'm going to go into that box score because this is going to help me see actual matchups. Where we at? All right, box score. I'm going to go into that. Instead of going to traditional, I'm going to matchups, and I'm going to see offense. Who was guarding Josh Hart? Number 1, Klingon. That's right. They put Klingon on him. I forgot about that. That was their play. So then who was Tumani Kamara guarding? Let's see real quick. And Klingon got some good minutes. All right, this is why, so Kamara on Bridges, which doesn't make you love the points for Bridges. He got him last game, right, against him. On the points, he had 33 with Tumani being his primary defender. That's impressive. That's not something I would bank on. He shot the ball 21 times though. Yeah, his field goal attempts go way up without JB. Let's see where those are at in the games without Jalen. Not really, 15.5. So they really don't go up that much. The usage rate, that goes up a bit, but not too much. 22 from that. That's a good amount. Yeah, I like the Bridges points. I do like. I don't hate adding the dimes either in this matchup with Tumani. Points and assists 23.5. I think that. I mean, that's what we played last time. I kind of just want to go back to it, but I can understand stay on the points. I'm leaving McHale as a lean on the points for right now, so we can keep moving. All right. But yeah, those are the two guys that I was eyeing, and I'm glad we brought those up real quick. Let's I'm gonna leave it on the points over 19.5 points, and that is at least minus 108 on FD. Maybe you get better numbers somewhere else, but I'm leaving that as a lean for right now. Try to get to that before the show ends if I can, but appreciate those looks right there. OG and people, yeah, if you want to, we can't take all of them. So that's the other part that's annoying is, I mean, OG is going to continue to score. He's been scoring a ton without JB. He's at 22, but they're expecting points from him a little bit more. Like you're getting a bit more value on Bridges when he and OG are basically doing the same thing here when they play without Jalen Brunson. He's been running hot too, so I can see that. But I do like the look here for Tumani. Now, at the same time, let me just see real quick who was guarding. It was probably Avdia, right? Yeah, Avdia is guarding OG in this game. No, he had Shaden Sharp a lot more than Avdia. So interesting. So Avdia is probably guarding Cat yeah. All right. Yeah, I can see that. I mean, that's a good matchup for OG too. So the points might be a little bit better for OG. I can't get there with who to go over on. I mean, they're all doing the same stuff and they're all playing 35, 38 minutes in that range. So that's kind of what the hesitancy is it could be any one of them. I don't see a better matchup for any of them. I thought maybe whoever Tumani wasn't guarding would be better, but yeah. So Chris is saying that the system when Kamara is guarding him is to go under on his threes because he's going to Hawkeye him at the top. I like what you're saying there. Yeah. So you're saying at the top of the key is where he's doing most of his damage. So how many threes did McHale have in this game? Let's look at this one right here. He was 2 of 4 from 3. He's probably 2.5, right? Oh, it's only 1.5. So yeah, I can see the under. But if Kamara's guarding Bridges at 1.5 threes, it kind of seems like the books are almost onto that same thing, Chris. But I think that's a sharp look. That's what I really appreciate that angle is like the under on the threes because he plays really tough on top of the 3-point line. And then one more here on Denny. I think this game is probably really good for bets. So I'm happy to take a few more on this one because I'm gonna tell you right now, we're gonna save time when we get to fucking the Hornets and Pellies. Maybe not that one, but Raptors, Sixers, we're going to save some time. I'm definitely not going to be looking at that one too closely. Also don't really love Pistons and Timberwolves, but happy to keep going in this one for a minute. The Avdia PR. So hit me with the analysis there a little bit on that one, Free Sauce. I know you got some stuff for why you like Denny on the PR instead of the assist, but if I'm looking at this, and this is without Simons, I shouldn't have that up because we don't know if he's playing or not. But if we take the points and rebounds, so we put those at 28.5, God damn, that's high, fam. That is getting high. He had 42 against him in this last game. I think Mitch Rob played a little bit in that game. Let's do without Jeremy Grant at the very least. And then, yeah. Oh, and we got Scoot out too. I got you. So we don't have that many of it without Scoot. Scoot probably does eat into some of this stuff though. So, yeah, they are. Are they bad guarding power forwards? It says here defensive rank versus position as far as this is points and rebounds. If we go to points, defensive rank versus position, it says they're 5th best against Denny. That's not necessarily power forward specific, but it is forward or his sort of player type. I can see, I mean, yeah, Denny's stuff just getting real high is the only thing. Even when he's playing without Grant, without Ayton, it's like he's had some really big games, but it's super boom or bust for him. So maybe you just take like some alt stuff and throw a little bit of a less on it, but I don't see the consistency from him that would make me want to bet on Denny overs in this one specifically. So, all right, let's try to take a look at a couple other games. If I'm coming up blank on other stuff, then we'll just come back to this one if we feel the need. But go ahead, give the video a like if y'all are in here. It goes a long way. Not super concerned these days. I just want to get a close knit group in here to make sure we get some good looks and not worry too much about how many people are jumping in. But this I can potentially get next to. Let me see that real quick. And then, yeah, there was one other thing from Jonathan was saying the Kling and Boris. Let me bring that one over. But J-Main said the under on the OG RA. Let's take a look at that right quick. RA. So this is at 7.5. This is what he's averaging without JB. In this game right here against the Bucks, yeah, 4 rebound chances, 1 potential assist, but he's chasing Giannis everywhere, right? So now when we talk about that, we got to look at who he's guarding. Going back to this game real quick. Let's put OG on defense and see who he was guarding in this one. Oh, yeah, he was guarding Simons. Damn it. So maybe he's guarding Sharp if Simons is out. I actually kind of want Simons to play. It doesn't really matter. Both of them are taking all the shots as far as Simons and Sharp go. He's going to be guarding one of those dudes. And what did he do in this one then? On the RA, he had 18 rebound chances, bro. That's kind of scary. 6 potential assists. I think 7.5 is a fair number. If you get 6, and like if you're going under, obviously you want the 7.5, but it's mostly 6.5. And to be honest, at that point, we kind of get to an over for me, especially with the way he had 18 fucking rebound chances in this last game, which is crazy if he's guarding guys who are on ball like that. I don't know how to explain that. That feels like an anomaly. So either way, it's enough to keep me away from OG. Let me see that about that Kling Kong look over here from Donovan. Also, a lean I had just while I'm on it and thinking about it is Kolek over, actually. Like, I think this is a better game for him to get a few more minutes than the last game where he was just a liability all over the floor. I think 4.5 points, you're starting to get some value, especially at minus 105, even like points and assists. Although he hasn't had very many potentials, so even 5.5 is still high for him. I think points at 4.5 might be a look. The Kling Kong, the rebounds was the look from Jonathan. He's at 8.5, 10. He's coming off 12 against the Knicks here. Had 21 rebound chances, got hella minutes. I went under, so I remember how frustrating that game was. Let's see, we got no Jay Grant, no D. Ayton in those games. He's at about 9.6 boards per game, 7.4 in the season. Like, how many minutes can we really give him right here? Let's see. He played 18, 30. I can't project his minutes. I don't know when he's going to play. I thought he wasn't going to play against the Knicks team in this last one. He played. Like, this game, maybe he continues to play. I don't have a beat on when he's getting minutes or not, so I can't get there with it. Man, I want to say yes because that's my squad, but I can't get there with a money line bet. Even, let's see what the number is. Pull up NBA betting odds on the money line on this one. Nah, where are we at? Minus 285. Definitely not the money line. I mean, even to cover 7, like I'm not really in on that. I think the Blazers continue to surprise people in good spots. So, all right, let's keep rolling here. I see a couple other bets that coming in on some other games too. If you got anything for the Spurs and Dubs, I do like a couple things in this game. So I want to spend a second on this one as we get into this game here. It's mostly Dubs stuff, and I'm going to tell you what I'm starting with as I get into this game. What I'm looking at here, and this is also linked, I believe it's in the description of the video, but this is #basketball.com. This is going to help me see things like who's on a back-to-back, what are teams' upcoming schedules, that kind of thing. I want to focus on the Dubs for a minute because they are playing San Antonio on the road right now. Then this Tuesday, they are at Memphis. I'm going to show you next week because this is nasty. So the Dubs at Memphis, at Lakers, versus Denver, versus Houston, at Phoenix. That's disgusting. That's truly unfair. So they're going to be on the road for 3 of these 5 very difficult games versus 3-4 teams in the top 6 or 7 in the West. That's ridiculous, right? This might even be all 4 of them might be in the top 5 or 6. Either way, this is disgusting. So they're going to probably want to give guys like Steph coming off an injury as much rest as they can versus a team that's not trying anymore in the Spurs. So that's why I always talk about looking at not just are they on a back-to-back tonight, what are their next couple games? The coaches are always looking at that, and that sort of dictates how many minutes they give guys. At the same time, I mean, they need to win. If we look at the standings, like they can't afford to lose, so they're not going to throw this game, but they should be able to handle business and then get their bench guys on the court. So if I'm just looking at the standings real quick, Dubs are tied with the Clips. The Clippers are probably going to lose this game, so the Dubs need to make sure they win. Are they going to lose this game? Nah. They might lose this game. Either way, they're going to want to win to keep pace or take over sole place of 6th and avoid that play-in spot. But they're going to need to beat, like I said, 2, 3, 4, 5, all up on the schedule, all on the road except for like Houston or whatever, or Denver, whatever it is. So nasty. I think they're going to sit guys, and they're going to sit guys as much as they can. Already took Buddy Hield. This was 7.5. Even 8.5 is still a great look. Fine with 9.5. That's what I took for Buddy for this game so far. As I took Buddy over 9.5 points, and I did fire this before I got on the show here, but I put 11.5 over 11.5 PR for Quentin Post in this game. I also see him playing really well. Show you what I'm looking at for both those guys real quick. For Post, I'm looking at the minutes. They're down for sure. Like in this last game, 18, 14 versus the Heat, 28 versus the Hawks, 22. But guys have been missing at times. And when they're all there, I think we expect about 18 minutes from him, even in games that they are going to win by a lot. So if I want to look at what I can expect there, let me recreate the amount of minutes that I think he's going to play and see what he's done in the past. So I'm going to take this minutes filter and move it to 16 as the floor, and 16 to 20, because I do think 18 minutes is a good projection. So give them a range of 2 minutes on each side or so, right? 16 to 20 minutes, 15 points a game in that amount of time on the season. So, 15 PR per game. Still getting a nice little cushion there between the 11.5 and the 15. I do think he's good for about 15 PR in this game as well. And I think he could easily play anywhere from like 25 to 28 minutes if they want to just sort of give him burn and keep guys like Draymond, Jimmy Butler, even Kevon Looney a little bit fresher. If we gave him a few more minutes, right, we're going to see even nicer numbers come up. Still at 15.6, but the hit rate stays the same. He's going to continue to, I think, like have a decent role in this game coming off the bench. So love Quentin Post over. Both points and rebounds are good. Was even considering taking just the plus money or maybe a little, parlay like 10 and 5 for Post would actually be a nice little hit too. Let me see what that is on DraftKings. I think I kind of want to play that now. Let me pull up DK. I think Post might be good for that in this one. 10 and 5. He's done that a decent amount here when we get these amount of minutes from him. Get this mouse over here. All right, pulling this one up. Although I hate same game parlays on DK. They fucking fuck you. Player points, we go down to Quentin. Let's do 10 plus. Let's put it together with 5 plus boards for him. 5 plus minus 110 plus 278. It's probably going to be about 3 to 1 is the best number you're going to get, but I think that's a pretty good look. 3 to 1 for him to get 10 and 5 in this game. That's something I'm going to be looking at too. Let me put that on there as a lean so I don't forget it as well. Post SGP 10 points /5 reb. I think that should be about plus 300. I'll go back and find the best spot for it, but I think I'm gonna end up playing that for Post too. That's a lean on the bottom line. The other stuff in here that we want to look at, I don't know if I'm going to have much for the Spurs, but if anybody likes anything else, let's see. I'm gonna go back in here and see what you guys think about this game. We got Free Sauce talking about Castle. Let me star that. Reef wants to talk about pods. I do want to talk about pods too. Jonathan Powell is talking about Jimmy. So is Reef. Cody likes an under on Chris Paul. So let's look at Paul and Jimmy and pods and maybe some Castle. All right. Chris Paul, what are his minutes even at these days, my man? Like, so points under on the RA. Interesting. Let's see what his rebounds and assists are at. 9.5. Under is minus 140. He can get, about minus 140 for under that in this one. Going up against the Dubs, his former team, he did play them this year. He had 10 on 7. Yeah, this was back in November, though. No Devin Vassell. Obviously, Wemby was playing at the time, so things are much different. Nowadays, it's the minutes, right? How do you project the minutes for him? So 20. Now he's at 30 over here in these games. Like, why is he all of a sudden playing 30? That's why I'm kind of out on the Spurs. When a team is actively not trying to win, I can't really bet on them. So I'm not going to have anything for the Spurs. I'm not going to have anything for the Raptors or the 76ers, most likely. That's definitely something that I've seen has helped me not go into it. But yeah, if you want to take under for, you were saying under for CP for, or you were saying under for Jimmy, right? Is that what you're saying? No, my bad. You're talking about Castle. You pull him up on the back-to-back. He looks real bad. You just got to make sure about the points. So I know you were talking about that too. So let's take the points. Let's look at Castle. This is from Free Sauce. Let's look at the back-to-back stuff. You can take this and put back-to-back up. That's nasty for sure. What are the minutes at when he's playing like this? So 26 minutes per game in the ones that he's had 30 to 36, right? So let's say that he plays at least 30 minutes because that's what he's been doing. Let's say he plays at least 30. Not quite as bad, right? Now you get to 19 points. Obviously, just 2 good games in there. But you do want to make sure that on the back-to-back games that despite the fact that he has bad numbers in those back-to-backs, he wasn't playing very many minutes. But if you make sure you give him 30, like 31.5 is probably a good minutes projection for him in this game, the way that this team is tanking and still giving him big minutes because they want him to win Rookie of the Year, right? So they're going to keep giving him. It's scary for me to take under on Castle stuff unless I can figure it out. So Yeah, that would be the reason though that they would run him into the ground is they want him to pull that rookie of the year reward down. So that might be the issue with that one. If I was going to play anything for the Spurs, I'm looking at unders, and I don't want to have to figure out who's not playing in this game. That's why I'm focused pretty much on this team. If you want to talk about something like Jimmy Butler, I'd be going under before I go over, and it would not be the rebounds and assists. It would probably be the points, 17.5 to the under. Once again, they might, if they don't blow them out though, then this is not a good look because he's going to have to keep them in the game as well. He's going to have to be the second scorer after Steph. So even taking unders there, I'm not trying to get cute with that kind of stuff when I can't guarantee that they're going to blow them out, even if they are like 11.5 point favorites. They lost by 10 yesterday, 8, right? They've been keeping some of these games close. So it scares me to go too far under. They've been playing all right. We could probably move from this one. I did like the dub stuff, but I'm on that. Is it locked up though? Let me look at what the odds are. Like I completely believe you. I just haven't looked at the odds and just know that I was staying away from that stuff for the purpose. Awards. There we go. And they're not going to have it live right now. I forgot, right? Because their games are on. But I'm assuming he's like minus 400 or some shit. So it does make sense if he's already got it. But I think they keep playing him. So that's what I'm staying away from. I really don't want to look at it. I'm staying away from anything in this game. Like I don't want to touch Ant overs by any means. 27.5. He hasn't been shooting as much. Played 28 the other day because he came out because his hand is hurt, right? Then he kind of re-injured it in the game. And now he's the last 3, his shots been at 13, 19, 19. Not really looking to take Ant when I can't guarantee his shots are up. And then without Cade, who's still missing, this team is a little bit harder for me to read. So I just think there's better use of our time real quick to get into a couple other things. Let's see. How we doing in that Cavs game? Let me pull that up real quick. Just out of curiosity, what are we looking at here? We got where that game score at? Who's scoring over here? Can you go away? Zoo, nope. Yeah, so it's still the Powell game. God damn, Norm Powell. 1 game late. Missed it. Kawhi out. That was a good, would have been a good look. Would have been a sharp play. Would have been. Would have, could have, should have. All right. Hawks, Bucks. For those of y'all jumping in, go ahead and okay. Jimmy, you're very angry. You need to go away. All right. Let's see. FSU. I don't know. Maybe he's mad about college sports. The stuff here in this game, I did take a bet. Go ahead and give that video a like too, if you would, as we're continuing to go through this stuff. Much appreciated. Looking at the Hawks Bucks, man. So we've got no Dame. AJ Green is questionable. Not sure if he got ruled out. Let me see if we got any more noties here on FanDuel or Underdog rather, not FanDuel. Everybody out tomorrow. Do we get anything for Jalen Brunson going to come back soon? No, we still didn't get anything for AJ Green. Whatever. That's fine. For this one, I did take a bet already. I think someone was talking about Dyson Daniels RA. I took an over on the PRA. What's that at now? Yeah, you can still get 20. Well, I took 25.5. It's at 24.5 now on some of these books. Maybe Karis LeVert being in. I think he's going to be out though, is a thing. So I'm not sure. He had like a late questionable tag. Karis LeVert did with an illness. So if it's like he's all of a sudden sick, it kind of seems like he's not going to play. So I kind of like Dyson Daniels without Karis LeVert. The thing is like for Dyson in this situation, let's do this. Games without Jalen Johnson, and we know obviously there's no more DeAndre Hunter on this team. So if we look at those games, he's at about 14. Where was the PRA? Excuse me. He's at about 26. So still pretty decent here with just when you take those two guys out with how much he gets involved in the offense and the rebounding and assists. If you add Karis LeVert and say, well, the games he's played with Karis LeVert in these situations goes down a little bit. LeVert's definitely kind of eaten into a little bit of what he does. If you take LeVert out, then it's looking a lot better as well. So if I go from LeVert being in to LeVert being out and all these guys being out, now we've got a pretty nice hit rate here, right? 29 in the 7 games that he's now played without all those guys. If LeVert is out, I really like this bet. If he's in, I still really don't mind it. If you look at him head to head, he's played without these guys twice, and with Karis LeVert was in for one of these games, out for another one. Either way, 31 PRA. He's going to have a pretty good matchup, and he's not really going to be focused on guarding Dame, which is a huge part of this. Is that if he's not focused on guarding Dame, he can do other stuff both on offense and with the boards. So let me see what y'all got. This is the only thing I have for this game. So if you have anything that you guys want to look at in this one, happy to take a few quick looks. I know Carissa had one for Risa Shea. First quarter points, 3.5. He's been consistent lately and over in 3 of 4 head-to-heads. Still plus money makes you a little bit weary of it, but probably still going to go for it. So you're talking about the Risache first quarter points. Let's see what he's been doing in the first quarter in terms of how much time he's been playing, all that stuff. This is Levert. This is Risache. Risache would probably, he's in second, right, for the rookie of the year. So he would be the one that would be looking at potentially getting his. So without both these guys, which is obviously what he's been doing for a while now, he's hit this in 4 in a row. The head-to-head matchup, he's now played without those guys 10 minutes, 7 minutes, 3 shots, 5 shots. Pretty good look. He will be getting a pretty good matchup in this one as they focus their better defenders on other guys. So we're talking about 7, 7, 3. Let's see. What are his field goal attempts at when he's in this situation? Let's do advanced filters. Let's put this at field goal attempts in the first quarter. Talking about 3.4. So 3 shots to get. He's at 3.5 though for plus money. Yeah, on FanDuel, 3.5 plus money, plus 112. I think that's a good look. If he's at 4 in these situations anyway per game, and you're getting plus money, there's no reason to think that he's not going to, be involved in the same way in the first quarter. I kind of like it. I see where you're at with that. So yeah, I think the Risache first quarter look could be a look as well. Let's see, we got a couple other looks for everybody coming in. So we got Gary Trent from TG. What's up, my guy? Happy birthday, bro. I don't think I said that to you yesterday, but happy birthday. Hope Ruth Chris, hope you got that fire steak. 3.5 threes for Gary. Yeah, bro, it's high. Gary Trent been going off lately. So he got 4 3 games in a row, and now they're giving us 3.5. Some places 2.5 for bad juice, but this is kind of where I'm out because of yesterday's price not being today's price. It's a good matchup. So he had 5 here on 8 attempts. That was without Giannis. Let me just look at this head to head. So yeah, only over in one of them. 9, 4, 8, 6 threes against him. How many can we really project in this game? So he's been taking 8, 11, 8. Him to hit 4 of 8, right? I don't really like to have to bank on him hitting 50% of his threes. That's kind of where I'm at with a bet like this. So I hate 3-point props anyway, unless I really think they're going to take such a high volume of threes that they don't need to hit more than 30% or so, right? If I can bank on them hitting 1/3 of their threes, and that's good enough for me to get my prop, then I'm good. So for him to hit 4, I really need him to be taking 11, 12 threes. I don't know if I can bank on that. When he hit 5, he only took 8, and he hasn't taken that many against this team. 3 for 9, 4, 8, 6. So he hasn't even taken 10, much less 11 or 12. So that kind of is why I don't like those types of bets in this one. And there's a reason it's such good plus money. So I'm out on that one. But I mean, look, plus money, plus 130, he easily can hit that against a bad defense. So matchup wise, you have an edge for sure. Kuz points or boards from J-Main. Fucking hate Kyle Kuzma, I'm not gonna lie. As a basketball player, basketball hate, basketball betting hate more than anything. So without Dame and with Giannis, Kuz is at 17.6. Some of these were bad shooting nights for sure, but that's what it is with him. So I usually don't like going back to Kuz just because Dame is out. And then if you look at the boards, like, come on, man, this is so sporadic. So with Kuz, it's a lot about who is he guarding. If Kuz is starting and you've got Trey, Onyeka, Dyson. I think I had the starting lineup up. Hold up. Let me see real quick. I think I wrote that down already. Yeah. All right. So this is what I'm looking at here. If I'm looking at this right here. So I've got Trey, Rollins, Daniels, Trent, Kuzma, Risache. So Kuzma and Risache, that does make sense. It's another good reason to like Risache, by the way, from Chris's bet earlier. So look at that. Let's see real quick. Let's do with Giannis. Let's do, did they play since he's been on this team? So he had 10 boards and 13 chances on the 4th. Let's see who he was guarding in that one real quick. Let's go to games. Let's go to March 4. Let me see. So we've got this matchup right here. And then Lillard was in this game. And then it was pretty much the same. Yeah, with what we're going to see here in this squad. So let me look at matchups and see if he was in fact guarding Risache in this game. Yeah, he's guarding Levert, actually, and then a little bit of Dyson Daniels, a little bit of Reese. So, yeah, he's kind of all over the place. I guess I can't really pin him down and say, like, this is going to be his primary matchup, so that's going to be good for the rebounds for him. I'm not going to go over on that. I'm always looking for an under for Kuz when I can find a good situation. This isn't the best one for sure against this defense, so probably just be a stay away on Kyle Kuzma for me. Let me take one more from this game. I do want to look at actually, now you guys are intriguing me with a couple bets. Let's quick look at Rollins. PA, do we think he's still going to get those minutes? Yeah, I think he's going to be the primary on Trey. So I do like him to play a few more minutes. Played 34 here and 18 here. So how many would project for him in this one? If he's going to be the primary on Trey, let's project him for 30. So what happens when he plays like 28 to 32? Let's just say 28. Yeah, he's only played 28 minutes a few times. On the PA, he's averaging 16.6. This is probably about fair at 16.6 for him. Yeah, I think they're probably just looking at the same shit we're looking at. The points, you might be able to get away with. The assists, 4 potentials, 8 potentials, 7, 7, 6. So this is probably fair too, right? 3.5. Maybe if you like it for plus money, then you take the assists, but potentials are not high, right? They're not high enough for me to like feel good about it. He's at 6.4, so he'd need 4 out of 6. Doable for plus money, not the worst bet. So if you take the points and the assists, I can see it. It's a good matchup for him. If we're talking about who's going to be guarding him, it's probably Trey. Yeah. Now I'm starting to like it even more. Probably is Trey. Has he played them this year? But probably with Dame. Yeah. So you didn't get the minutes. But if he's guarding Trey and Trey is guarding him, then yeah, it's a pretty good look. I think Ryan Rollins is someone to keep in mind. I'm going to put him on the bottom line as a lean for now. All right, Rollins. Over 14.5. I think that's a smart potential look. Put that as 110 on DK. All right, that's on the bottom line. All right, let me see. I'm about to have to roll here in a sec. And there was one more that y'all put in there that actually intrigued me a smidge. So Brolo's stuff is high. He's still going to be great. I'm still one of my favorite players. Still super underrated. Pretty good matchup. Has hit this a good amount, but like, man, this has just gotten so high for him. He's not a 16 per game scorer, so I have to bank on him really paying above his pay grade to get there. Not sure I'm going to get there with it. So, all right, let me see if there's anything else that I at least want to touch on before I dip, because I do got to roll in a minute. Yeah, I haven't had enough time to look at the Suns and the Rockets. That's the one game I still got to do a little bit more work on. So I'm gonna head out at this point in this one. I got to roll and get a few more bets down for the VIP as well. It's going to see about this 3:00 game if we can't get anything as well. I do like that. I would just say that real quick. I do like Booker under, and I like Miles Bridges under, which was brought up in the VIP chat as well. Free Sauce and a couple other folks also brought up Miles Bridges under PRA. I think that's a good look. And Matthew, I talked about that in the pre-recorded video. Book got down to 35. I couldn't get 36.5 anymore for him. If I can get 36.5 again for under PRA for Booker, I am going to like that. So I want to see what happens with these lines for the Rockets and the Suns, and I'll start betting on those a little bit later today. So, all right. Appreciate y'all. There's some really good looks in here, man. Appreciate everybody jumping in and saying what's up for sure. I'll be back this week. Plenty. No set schedule yet on the live, but we'll get at least a couple in this week, and I'll be back with an episode each and every day. So make sure you are subbed to the page. If you could, give this video a like before you dip out. Goes a long way. So much appreciated. And until I see y'all next, happy betting.